Hello everybody, and welcome to another Deck Tech. This week I'm going to go over a list that it's not necessarily my creation, but I did it entirely from just somebody saying that they had success with the Combrei Aggro deck, so it's my interpretation of what a Combrei Aggro deck probably would be. And it's been doing really well. I definitely enjoyed playing it, and there's a few key things to kind of go over with it. So right now, there's a few things that has gotten from set 3. The big ones are going to be Auric Record Keeper, which is just an awesome undercosted creature with an ability when it dies, so it really helps it if they have the removal for it. And then the second card is Unseen Commando, which you've probably seen a lot of if you've been playing any ranked at all, because there's a lot of Rakano decks that are running Unseen Commando. There's a lot of Haru decks that are running Unseen Commando. Unseen Commando is just kind of everywhere. This card is fantastic, and it's getting a lot of play. There's a good reason for that. The rest of this is all just set 1 and set 2 cards, so it should be pretty cheap to make. Now, the reason that I like this deck right now is you are running up against a lot of like Feln control lists and some aggro lists here and there, but I've been hitting like a lot of temporal distortion, a lot of Feln control, and this does a really good job against those. It's a little more resilient against things like Lightning, Storm, and Harsh Rule, and the reason why, and you'll see that, is things like Protect. And also, a card that is very underutilized and has pretty much always been really underutilized in Stand Together. So Stand Together is just an absolute beating when you can land it. It's a little expensive, so you have to leave up a lot of power, which is always the downside to Stand Together, but man, it leads to some insane blowouts when you actually get it. So that's kind of the core of the deck, is that you're going to be trying to stick, instead of, say, a Grenadin deck or a Yeti list or things like that, it's not trying to put out a bunch of little creatures and go wide and smash your opponent that way. It's trying to build up 1, maybe 2 creatures that you can just kind of, not Voltron together, but make big enough threats that they have to answer them, and then you just protect them with, well, Protect and Stand Together. Now, something that you'll notice here is that it only has Vanquishes as actual hard removal, which is certainly a downside, no question at all. So Vanquish will kill off some of the big things, but like a lot of the threats right now are, we're talking about Feln control, something like, say, a Champion of Cunning. And this is where Desert Marshal and Valkyrie Enforcer are coming in. There's a reason why we have 4 of each. It's not even so much so that you can kill, say, like a Feast Caller or a Champion of Cunning, but more so that you can pop the Aegis. I feel like the silence is really important on these now because of that. There's a lot of creatures that you just need to even knock the Aegis off of, and then you can vanquish them. So some of the really big, nasty threats, like I said, the Feast Callers and your Feln champions are really susceptible to just having their Aegis popped, and then thankfully after that you can get them with the Vanquish. You can also silence it and it'll help for a little while, and you can try and race that way. You have a couple of Aegis creatures yourself, and you're just trying to build up a decent enough board and smash through. Obviously Xenan Obelisk can break through board stalls, so you have a little bit of late game with Knight-Chancellor and with Xenan Obelisk, but for the most part it operates pretty quickly. You're going to want to land Awakened Student probably on turn 3, and then empower it and hold up a Protect if you can have it, and just start snowballing that into a win. It's kind of your goal with this deck, and yeah, hope you have a lot of luck with it. I've, like I said, certainly been enjoying it. I don't know that it's the best list that I've ever had, but it's certainly competitive, and I do like it. There's some tweaking that can certainly be done, but it's a decent start, and I think that it's a good way to attack the meta right now, because there's a lot of removal running around, and having Protects and Stand Togethers just feel really important currently. But I hope you have a lot of success, and I'm going to run you through some games and we'll test it out.